Hello, today I will be showing you how to make your Minecraft days longer on 1.14. But just before I start, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Mellark, who I took the idea from and then tweaked a little bit for 1.14. But it was his original idea, and just wanted to credit him before we start. I'll have his channel in the description if you want to go check him out. Alright, now into the video. So, actually you're going to want to be doing all these command blocks at spawn, because the spawn chunks of your world never actually despawn or get disabled when loading. So the command blocks will always be there and they'll always be running. So that is actually the best place to put them if you're going to be um, actually trying to make your days longer. Because you could be at somewhere around 3,000 blocks away and it'll still load. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to type in a couple rules and you're going to disable them. So the first one you're going to disable is commandBlockOutput, and you're going to put that to false. And then you're also going to stop doDaylightCycle, obviously the sun, so that we can manually program it ourselves. And as you can see right there, the sun has stopped. And then the last one you're going to want to do is you want to add an objective. So you're going to type in scoreboard, objectives, add, and then for this one I'm just going to call it timer and then dummy. And then basically after that what you want to do is you set up now, and then you're going to have your command block and you're going to add 4. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's all going to be a line like that, all with them pointing to each other. And then the next thing you're going to do is each of these has a specific options that they're going to be having. So for example, the first one is going to be repeat, unconditional, and then always active. And then the second one's going to be chain, and then conditional, and then always active, and then the same for the third one, which is also going to be chain, unconditional, and then active. And then the fourth one is going to be, oh my bad, it's going to be, these two are going to be conditional, yeah, okay, good. Alright, and then, so that's for the 4 command blocks. Now you're actually going to be writing inside of them. So for the first one, you're going to be writing scoreboard, players, add, and then you're going to just type in timer. In this case, you want to do a player, so actually it might be better if you type in hashtag timer and then timer, and then you're going to type in 1. And basically what that's going to do is it's going to keep adding 1 to the timer value. So if I actually put back the command block output on, you're going to see it's going to display a lot of numbers. It's going to keep updating the value. So it's good to have that off because it will spam. So the next thing you're going to do is for the second one, you're going to type in scoreboard players, and you're going to type in get and then timer. And it's pretty much going to get the value of it. So as you can see here, it's going to keep updating it. 503, 508, things like that. And then the third one you're going to do is it's going to be execute if score timer matches. And then it's going to be a certain value. So for example, let's just say 2 in this case. And then we're going to do run time add 1t, and then the 1t stands for ticks. The 1 stands for the amount, and then the t stands for ticks. So every 2 ticks, they're going to add a 1 tick of time. And that's going to be for that one. And then the fourth one's going to be execute if score timer matches, and then whatever value you have to add 1 to it. So you're going to do 3, for example, and then run scoreboard players set timer, and then you're going to add 1, which is pretty much going to this pretty much sets the counter back to 0 so that the command can rerun its program. Now, it won't work right at first because As you can see, the sun is still still. So it won't work right now because if you check the timer value, so if I go right here and I check the timer value, you're gonna see it says 8:57. So that is above the actual range that this is supposed to detect it. So what you're gonna do is they're actually gonna reset the scoreboard once. So you're gonna type in scoreboard player set timer. Whoops. Timer, and you're gonna set that back to like 0. And then it should run normally. And as you can see, the sun is moving barely. If I do up it to like 50 ticks, it will be more noticeable. So as you can see, that's a lot more noticeable. And then actually, the way to make it longer, to make the days longer, is to change this value right here, so the 2. So if I change this to 20, right, and then I change this back to like what, like 1 tick, and then I change this, right, because you have to change this one back to whatever number you have plus 1, so this one will be 21. As you can see, it is going much slower. You can barely see it moving. If I speed it up a little bit, maybe 28T. No, 20's right there. Okay. And you see it is moving, but it is moving much more slowly than we had the 2 there. So I'm going to set that back to 1. And then there we go. So up until now, this has all been Mellark's deal for the most part, except for a couple things of tweaking. So big thanks to him again. Now, the only problem is that actually if the daylight cycle game rule is turned off, sleeping doesn't actually work. So if I actually make this into needs redstone, and I set the timer to something like time set night, and you can see it is about nighttime. And then I get myself a bed, for example, and then I place it here, and then I try to sleep. You're gonna see what's gonna happen is that when I get back up, it's gonna actually still be night, which is, you know, a problem, obviously. So luckily I did find a way to fix this. It is going to involve a little bit more work, but you will be able to sleep. So now this does make nighttime actually shorter than your daytime, so do keep that in mind if you still plan on sleeping. So for this part, what you're going to need is you're going to need a command block, you're going to need redstone dust, and you're also going to need a daylight detector. So the next thing what you're going to do is you're going to take the daylight detector, you're going to place 2 of them like this, and then one of them is going to be for daytime, and one of them is going to be for daytime, the other is going to be for nighttime. What you're going to do is you're actually going to take 5 blocks of redstone dust, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to place 2 command blocks on the ends of them. And then so for the one for day, you're going to type in gamerule, and then you're going to do doDaylightCycle, and you're going to turn that to false. And then for the one for night, you're going to type in gamerule, and you're going to do the exact opposite. You're going to do doDaylightCycle, and then you're going to type in true, and you're going to click done. And then, oh yeah, one more thing is that you're going to put both of these to what you can do is you're going to put both of these to repeat unconditional and needs redstone. So repeat unconditional and needs redstone. Whoops. And then this one to repeat unconditional needs redstone. And then so after that, what's going to happen is that, as you can see at night, the daylight doesn't actually reach the command block, but the night one does. So it does power this one, but it doesn't power the other one. So what that means is that in that case, this entire time, you're going to have the adding time cycle thing, and also just the regular night cycle, which is the daylight cycle. So it is going to go down a little bit more faster, but it's not doing it right now because you have to actually update it. And that should update it right there. There you go. So now it is going on repeat. So it is working now. So now if I were to go into bed, for example, let me get one back up, and I go sleep in it, it should actually get me back. Yep, there you go. Went back in the morning, and then it does it does turn this one off. So daylight circle, that daylight cycle is then turned back on. I mean off, and then it's just this running. So everything works out perfectly again. And then just to be a little more evident, let's set that back to like 2. Oh, there we go. I need to turn that on first. There you go. Alright. I'm going to turn that off for now then. Oops. Turn that off for now. And then I'll talk about that a little bit later. But now the only problem is that the actual time, so if I have daylight cycle off, off, and then if I do the time set, is it 5:41, and I put the bed here, and then that's the time right before you cannot sleep, and then 5:42 is the actual time you can sleep, and of course you will wake up, and it'll be still actually that time. But the problem is that because of how daylight detectors work, the moment you can enter the bed is not the moment the light cycle will turn back on. And therefore, if you actually enter the bed, as you can see right here, it is still pretty much nighttime actually. If I can still sleep. So the moment you enter the bed, it'll still be on. So if you enter the bed, if you're like one of those persons that keeps like clicking on the bed until like it turns to nighttime so you can sleep, it will not actually turn on, and then when you wake up, it'll still be nighttime. So that is a problem, and unfortunately, there is no like fluid way you can fix this. But you can do a simple fix, and that is to just tell you when you can sleep. So whenever this gets power, you can add a command block here, and you can type in say, and then something like you may now sleep, and then whenever this gets full power, it'll turn back on, and you'll get the message saying that you'll sleep. Now, the good thing is that you don't have to worry about monsters spawning while you wait, because the light cycle will turn on. This will give power to this, and the light cycle will turn on before monsters actually spawn. So as long as you're waiting by your bed and you wait for the message, as soon as you use your bed after the message, it'll still be there. So if I make this really drastic, for like for example, if I turn this back on and I change to something more drastic, like for example 200T, it says, if you see right here, it says you may now sleep. And then I'm gonna speed it up a little bit just to show you again. Let's do like 500. So it's going to go around. Take a little bit. If I actually do time set something like 1500. I'm sorry, this is a little bit of a waiting game, but you will see that it will start to say, so you see right now the daylight cycle is off because it's telling you that it's off right now with this program right here. As you see, as the daylight becomes less, it actually darkens the redstone and it becomes less powerful. And then you see this one, it turns on, and then you get the notification that you may now sleep, and then you can go ahead and sleep. And then you will wake up, and then it will be daytime again, and then the entire process will start again. So that's it. Leave a like if this video helped you, and then comment if you have any thoughts or issues with the program that's shown here. Thanks so much, and have a good one.